Hello, welcome to the Latah Valley Fiber Co podcast. My name is Tiffani. If you're new around here, thank you for joining me. If you're an oldie, thanks for coming back. My name is Tiffani. I am the owner of Latah Valley Fiber Co, where I do hand-dyed yarn in my kitchen. So small batches of hand-dyed yarn in both natural and acid dyes. I also sew knitting bags. So you can check that out at latahvalleyfiberco.etsy.com if you'd like. You can follow me on Instagram at Latah Valley Fiber Co. And if you want to direct message me, you can do that lvfiberco@gmail.com. I'm so glad you're all here. It's fall, and the temperatures have dropped, so long sleeves. And it's almost sweater weather, so I'm excited about that. But I have a few things to show you today to start off with. So let's get started. I have some finished objects as well as a couple works in progress. Yes, 2 of them. Okay, so let's start with finished objects. And several of these showed up 2 weeks ago in that vlog because I'm knitting hats for my nieces and nephews who are having a birthday November 1st. So these are, okay, the pattern is the Crystal Lattice Beanie, and that is by Alex of Weaving Wonder. I will list links all down below in the description box. The yarn that I used was my own hand-dyed yarn in a natural colorway called Sweeter, and it was a bulky that I had in my shop for a while. So it wasn't selling, so I pulled it off the shop and I'm using it to knit hats. I did the cast on for the toddler size, which was 60 stitches, and then I increased, the needle size I used was 5.5 on the first hat, which is this one, and it's smaller because one of the girls is a more petite. Okay, so the next one I did on a 6.5 millimeter, right here, and cast on the same 60 stitches. And then on the third hat, I did the same as this second one. So there you go. I ordered these faux fur from Amazon. I thought my local Joann's carried them. They have the tie-down version, and it doesn't have the long, wispy, it's more of just a ball. So I ended up ordering them on Amazon, and they were a great price. So there's for the 3. I haven't started, so it's, the quads are 3 girls and a boy. I haven't done the boy's hat yet. I have a little bit of time. So I did the girls. The first one, which I already talked about, it was previously done. I started 9/11 and I finished 9/14. The second one, I started 9/14, I finished 9/16. They're really a fast knit, I tell ya. And then the third one, I started 9/16 and I finished 9/26. And that one took a little longer because I got distracted with socks and another hat. I decided, there's a couple other kids in this family, and the older son is having a birthday on Saturday, and I thought, you know, I've knit him hats in the past. He probably needs an updated one because he's turning 8. So I cast this one on. It's the classic ribbed hat by Purl, Soho. The fun thing about this yarn is that I spun it. I bought the braid at my local yarn shop. I think it was the Malabrigo New Bay, if I'm remembering correctly. and I spun it last winter. I was gonna originally use it in a Colorwork sweater, but I used the green braids instead. Oh no, this is not Malabrigo Nube. It is by Rusty Spur Creations. It didn't have a colorway. She's out of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I'll put some links here. It was a tweed yarn. So I do need to make a note of that in here. So I spun this last winter. It's a blue and orange tweed. There is some gray in it. It's a 1x1 rib for the whole hat. So it's a really nice pattern, really easy to do. It knit up really quickly. So I was supposed to cast on. See, I'm a knitter. I've been a knitter for a long time. I still make mistakes. I was supposed to cast on 96 stitches. And so I counted by 20 to, well, I was originally going to cast on 108. And when I got that on, I looked at that and I was like, that looks really big. So I'm going to go down a size, which was the 96 stitches. And this is a free pattern on Purl Soho's website. So I dropped a few stitches down to 96 and just began knitting and purling and knitting and purling. And I never double checked how many stitches I had. So then when I was going to do the decreases, I was going to put in markers, and it didn't add up. I had stitches left over, and I thought, uh-oh, what did I do? Well, instead of casting on 108, I must have been short. And then when I decreased 10 stitches, right? Yeah, 10 stitches. Well, when I was putting the markers in, I finally went back and recounted. I only had 74 stitches on here. So I don't know what happened. Always double check your stitches to make sure that you have enough. He's pretty small for an 8-year-old. Well, he's normal size. I'm just used to my son, who is oversized for his age. So I think this hat will fit him just fine. There you go. Okay, so his birthday is, this kind of took priority over some other things. So I started this on 9/29. I finished it on 9/30, and his birthday is the 5th. So plenty of time. Done. Okay. That's it for the hats. I do have one more hat for one of the quads, but again, their birthday's November, so I have a little bit of time to do that. The next things I've been working on, and I have several finished of these, is dishcloths, and they are the pattern Gramma's dishcloth. So it's a very common, this type of technique where you knit from the corner and you increase to the other corners and then you decrease to the final corner. And there's a lot of patterns out there. This is the one that I used. I'll put a link. It's by PJ Allen. And the yarn I'm using for all of them so far has been the cookies and cream. Oh no, it's not cookies and cream. Sugar and cream by Lily. And I bought it at Joann's. The colorways that I'm using are, let's see. Yep, okay. Oh, I actually don't know the red and white. This was a leftover. And this one I actually showed 2 weeks ago, and for some reason I had really cinched in on the decrease, so it was kind of wonky. So I pulled it out halfway to the corners and then knit at a looser. So there you go. That does look better, doesn't it? Maybe I'll put in a before and after picture here. So these were leftovers, and they actually, I can't find this at Joann's, the red and white. So I don't know if they've discontinued that or not. But I went and bought more, and I do know the colorways on this. So the first one here is Sonoma, and I have 2 of them. And the reason I'm doing dishcloths is a friend at church asked for my hand knit cotton dishcloths in neutral colorways. And I thought, oh, this is pretty neutral. So it's got specks of different colors in there, but they're pretty toned down, nature colors. So I knit 2 of them, and then I think I'm going to knit 2 black ones, and then she'll have 4. I think that's all she wanted was 4. But in the meantime, these are really easy. They go really fast. So the 2 Sonoma ones, one I started 9:26, I finished 9:26. This one I started 9:26, I finished 9:27. So they're really fast. This was the second one I knit. This was the third in this dishcloth craze that I'm going through. I didn't just buy enough to do dishcloths for her. I do like to give these as gifts. So I'll just plan to, they're really fast. So if you're a knitter that likes the finished object and not necessarily the process, dishcloths are great because they're really fast to knit up. Okay, then I have 4 and 5. Again, sugar and cream. This is the salt and pepper colorway. So black and white. And I did actually think about giving her the black and white with 2 solid black ones, because that would look really nice too. Except that I wanted to block them because they were a little, I don't know if you can tell. See how they kind of curl in? Okay, so I wanted to block them. Well, again, I did a stupid newbie mistake, and I threw them in my sink with this. So I have red blotches that have kind of faded out. I don't know, right there, right here, and then through here. So I'll use this one for myself. This one I'm not going to block. And I'll knit another one. So I could possibly give these to her. I will probably just let her decide. I'll knit them up and then she can just pick through them for the 4 that she wants. Oh, okay. So this one was 9:28. I finished at 9:29. This one was 9:28. I finished at 10:02. There you go. Okay, I think that's it for finished objects. I did want to just slightly address, or take time to address, my temperature blanket. I'm a month behind. I had run out in the middle of my row of yarn, and I needed yarn for that yarn for 4 more days. So I ordered more yarn, and I had to wait for it from Knit Picks. And I just haven't taken the time to catch up. So, yeah, I'll do that at the beginning of October here. Probably, I'll start on it today, probably, and get caught up on that. So I will show it to you, but it will be next time. Okay. So the other things that I have to show you are socks. They're works in progress. And these socks are part of my husband's advent calendar that I'm doing for this year. So 24 socks that he gets to open from December 1st to December 24th. And I may do a bonus pair, because I am ahead, for him to open on Christmas morning. I'm towards the end. This is 22 and 23, I believe. Yes, they are. Okay, the first pair I'm going to show you is they're not in order. I cast on for 22 with this, I didn't want to show you that yet, with this orange. So I cast on DPN's both cuffs. And then I had trouble trying to pair yarn with that. I have scraps, so I thought, oh, I'll just do a scrappy, stripy sock from Summerlee, because she's got lots of those in the book that I'm doing from her. And I didn't like the colors, so I moved on. I pulled a yarn from my shop, this yarn here. I fell in love with it. There's 9 of these in the shop if you're interested. It's knitting up really amazing. So the pattern I'm using is the Honeycomb and Moss Socks by Summerlee Designs. It's in her book, the new book that she's put out. This yarn is Cover Me in Sunset, which I dyed this spring. This is my sock yarn, so it's 80% superwash wool and then 20% nylon. It's really soft and squishy. I'm hoping it holds up to my husband's wear and tear on his socks. The needle size I'm using is circular needles this time, not DPNs. I'm doing magic loop, so 2.25 millimeter. I did cast on my normal 72 stitches, and I'm doing them 2 at a time. So I started these on 9/24, and I'll just hold them up from the cuff. They're a little hard to show when they're 2 at a time. But, so the cuff was just a leftover from another pair of socks. It's probably Malabrigo Ultimate Sock, because I tend to use that a lot before I started dyeing my own yarn. And then this, I like this pattern because it has this kind of cabling on both sides. It's a really nice detail on the front of the foot. And then you have moss stitch in between there. So what's interesting about this yarn is if you're doing it in a pattern, it looks like this. But then on the back where it's just stockinette, it looks like that. So it's kind of fun. The only thing that I maybe should have done differently was not do them 2 at a time on the circular needles. I thought it would be easy because I could keep track of the pattern, because what you do is you knit the front of this sock, the front of this sock, then you flip it and you knit the back and the back. So I thought it would keep the socks the same. You know, you're doing the pattern here and you're doing the pattern here. That's easy. And they're the same length, or so I thought. But it's a little fiddly, and so it's taken me a little bit more time to do, because I started these 9/24 and it's already 10/3. So this is number 23 of 24 socks. And I love the yarn. I wish other people loved it too. But this pink and gray is really amazing. And there's pure spots where it's darker, like on the back of this one. You can see the darker gray. I love that little pop. So if you're interested in that sock yarn, there's 9 skeins in the shop. You can check it out. That's it for number 23. Now, it's October, so Summerlee, I'm also doing her Colorwork Cuff Sock Club for the whole year. It started in August, so it'll go to August. And this month of October, her pattern is very fallish. She actually released two of them, and I'm doing one. I may do the other one. I'm not real sure. It's a apple motif. I'll post some pictures here. I'm doing the little ghost. The yarn I am using is my own hand-dyed yarn. I was testing out, it was part of a I started off my business with natural dyes, and I transitioned a little bit to also bring in acid dyes. So when I was doing that, I was experimenting, and this is one of those experiments. This is the yarn. It's really pretty. I love all the tonal, the fall colors in this it's very, I love it. In fact, I kept the recipe, so I'm going to make bigger skeins with this. I have 100 grams of this, but they're in 20-gram minis. So I'm just using it. I found that it matched best with this orange cuff that I had cast on. I was trying to use up scraps, but I've used the scraps in other scrappy socks, and so, you know, I wanted something different, which was part of the reason why this was so fun to cast on. This is the pattern. It's a little ghost with eyes, and it looks like it's floating this way. So this is her October Colorwork Cuff Club pattern. If you're not familiar with what she's doing, in August, she sent out the base pattern for the cuff, and then the heel, flap and gusset, the foot of the sock, and the toe. Okay, as well as 2 of this patterning, and then every month she's sending out 1 to 2 new panels to put in here. So this one is really fun. I hope my husband likes it. My son will probably want a pair when he sees this. I think this will block out really nice and look great. It's kind of bunched right now. Oh, also, she recommended going up a needle size in here to do the colorwork section, and then move back down to the 2.25 for the rest of the sock. I didn't do that. What I did was just made sure that there was the space in here. Can I do that? I don't know that you'll be able to see it. I just made sure that these were spaced far apart and weren't bunched on the needles. So as I was knitting, I would knit a few, and then I'd go like that and space them out, and then just make sure I didn't cinch it all up nice and tight. So these will be festive socks. We don't really celebrate Halloween. We kind of hibernate in our house and eat pizza and watch movies. But I thought they were cute, and so I went with this one. She does have the other one for October is apples, and so I might do that as a pair for myself. But it was apples and stripes, and this is just, you do the color work up here, but then the rest of the sock is this color. So yeah, that's why I picked that one. And I've done stripes several times for my husband, so I just wanted something different, and this was fun. I cast this on. Okay, so the cuff I cast on earlier. Let's see here. Okay, 9/17. Oh, so I'm a little behind on that. I should have just, I don't know why I delayed it. So I cast the cuff on 9/17. I cast the color work section on yesterday, which was 10/2. So it actually knits up really fast because I was excited to see what the ghost would look like on the sock. That's the one plus about color work, is it kind of keeps you engaged, and I just want to see it turn out. So yeah. Okay. Oh, also, I am using DPNs for both, and 72 stitches, 2.25 millimeter DPNs. I am on the heel flap, then I'll move on to the gusset, and then pick up this yarn again to knit the rest of the foot. And I have more of this. I have several more. So This is 22 of 24. I think that's it on that one. And I've talked about everything. Yep. Perfect. Okay, well that's it. I'm keeping everything in my book here, and I'm not even halfway through it, which is crazy because I've knit a lot this year, it seems like. So that's it. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're enjoying fall and the cooler temperatures and enjoying your sweaters. Until next time, happy knitting.